Yeah, I'm not giving my ID.
And well, then you're about to get put in handcuffs for obstruction until I further figure this out, man.
Don't point your finger at me. Don't do that.
Try to enforce the law and listen to what I'm telling you and be quiet.
You're not in charge of me or anything out here. That's fine, sir.
You're a disgusting person.
Do you even have a VA card to prove you're a veteran?
You're a disgusting disgrace.
You keep getting loud and you will go in the back of a patrol car. No.
You dumb.
Keep pointing your finger at me, sir, and I'm going to take it as a threat.
Shut up, dummy.
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. In September of 2024, Jeff Gray was soliciting goodwill and prayers for homeless veterans on the steps of City Hall in Little Rock, Arkansas.
You gotta take that across the street.
No, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and stay right here for about 40.
You can do that right here.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and do it right here till I'm done, and I'll be on my way.
You can't do it right here.
I disagree with you. Why can't I do it? Can you tell me why I can't do it right here? Why would you call the police on somebody saying God bless our homeless veterans? Sir. Why would you do that? Can't you just leave me alone? Why are you guys calling the cops on a man standing on the steps of City Hall saying God bless homeless veterans? Why is that? Why would you do something like that? Why can't you just leave me alone?
It wasn't too long before Officer Jackson of the Little Rock Police Department arrives on scene.
What's going on, man?
Not too much. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, brother?
All right.
I'm Officer Jackson with Little Rock Police Department.
Yes, sir.
I've been advised that security has asked you to leave and you won't. What's the deal here?
They haven't asked me to leave. They just said they're not sure if I could do this or not.
Okay. Y'all want them off the property? So they do want you off the property.
Okay, well,
I apologize that they haven't let you know that. So.
Okay. Well, let me explain something to you first.
Go ahead, brother.
What I'm doing is I'm engaged in freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly at the steps of City Hall, which is a traditional public forum.
Okay.
If they trespass me off of this property for engaging in my civil rights, you're going to be held liable, and they're going to be held liable, and the city's going to be held liable.
I got you.
So I encourage you, and I'm being polite here.
Yeah, no, hey, but we're on good terms, brother.
I encourage you to contact the city attorney, contact the mayor, contact the DA, contact your supervisor, and let them know before you trespass me off the property.
I got you.
All right.
Well, listen to me. Let's step over here. That way, if somebody comes over here.
I'd rather stand right here.
Okay. Well, listen to me.
Yes.
I get you got God bless on there. You're a veteran. Is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. But are you homeless?
I don't answer questions like that.
Okay. Well,
regardless of whether I'm homeless, I still have the right to free speech.
I got you. I'm not saying that's the reason. Without you answering that, due to the sign that I'm looking at, it's homeless. Okay. So at that point, I get you're utilizing your amendments. Okay.
Yes,
we'll just keep it that simple.
Free speech.
With that being said, what you're doing though also at the same time is loitering. Okay. It's not the principle that they are being biased against you being religious.
I'm hard of hearing.
You're good. It's not the fact that you're a veteran or that you're pushing your religion. It's the fact that you're loitering right on the front steps of City Hall. So you can simply just step on the public sidewalk and it'd be that simple.
Yeah, the steps of City Hall is a traditional public forum.
Okay.
The U.S. Supreme Court recognizes 3 types of forums for free speech purposes: traditional, designated, and non-public. The steps of City Hall have a long-standing custom of being used without permit for protests, speeches, press releases, and public gatherings due to its central location within a city and its connection to governmental functions. The state can impose only content-neutral time, place, and manner restrictions, and cannot prohibit speech altogether unless there is a compelling government interest. And Little Rock not only has a particularly rich history of various groups gathering on its steps,
it is our job as citizens to help each other stay aware of what we can do to move towards a better future.
First floor is accessible from both outer staircases, indicating that it was intended to be the primary entertaining area.
A peaceful protest happening at Little Rock City Hall.
I'm at Little Rock City Hall right now, giving you a live look at a peaceful protest that's happening. Let's go ahead and pan the camera over.
Our Ashley Godwin is live at City Hall, where protesters sit in front of the building.
But perhaps even more damning is that in the same month and year that Jeff stood upon the steps of City Hall to ask for prayers for homeless veterans, other groups were allowed to use our steps for their messages.
Here in Little Rock, activists rallied at City Hall. The Center for Popular Democracy called for action today to address what they call a national housing crisis.
Many people gathered on the steps of City Hall rallying, saying more needs to be done.
Consider those facts as you now watch Officer Jackson threaten to charge Jeff with obstruction if he doesn't surrender his Fourth Amendment right.
What's your name?
I'd rather not give my name or anything like that.
Well,
I told you it was Jeff.
Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff.
I get that. What's your last name?
I'd rather not give my last name.
All right, well, listen. You're wanting me to contact all these people and all that stuff, so I am conducting an investigation, so therefore, I don't want you to catch a petty charge for obstruction.
Yeah, I don't want to either because I'm engaged in free speech. And
I got you. But now I'm here, though.
Yeah, I'm not giving my ID.
And well, then you're about to get put in handcuffs for obstruction until I further figure this out, man.
So
it's not that serious, all right?
It's not. I'm engaged in free speech.
I got you, and I'm doing my job.
Before you put me in cuffs, like I said, contact the city attorney or something like that, because I put you on notice that I'm engaged in
I got you. Listen to
activity.
Are you going to give me your last name and date of birth or not?
What would happen if I don't?
Obstruction.
What does that mean?
It's you're either impairing or hindering or prolonging my investigation. You want me to contact city attorney and all this? I need to know who I'm speaking to. I'm not just going to call all these people and be like, "Hey, Jeff is wanting this and this to happen," when I've already given you a rundown of what needs to happen.
I'll give my ID under threat of arrest, but otherwise I'm not giving my ID.
What's your last name?
I'd rather not give my last name.
Okay.
If you're going to put me in cuffs and arrest me, I'll give you my ID.
I got you. Why are you making this so complicated, man?
I'm not making it complicated.
No, you are.
You guys and the security's making it complicated. You guys have the option of just leaving me alone and allowing me to exercise my free speech rights.
I understand that, but at the same time, my hands are tied. If, as an establishment, yes, it's the city hall, but you are loitering on their property. Are you?
I am not loitering. I am peacefully assembling on the property.
Okay. Well,
that's constitutionally protected activity.
I don't think you're going to go anywhere. Give me 1 second, okay?
Hey, good morning, y'all. God bless Thomas Beck.
Who's y'all's high up to? He's not asking for money or anything, so it is kind of a complicated deal. It does just say God bless and the veterans and the homeless. So I mean, granted, he's stating he's just assembling peacefully there. So I mean,
because I had the reason why I called because I had employees coming in really not comfortable with him standing out there. And my job is to protect them with everything going on.
Yeah. No, I get it. Are these doors locked? Or are we able to go in here? Right.
So I'm the supervisor of security.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it'd be one thing if he was panhandling or something like that. But, I mean...
Well, can you ask him not to stand in front of the building? I don't care where he's standing.
In response to the supervisor's request to ask Jeff to leave, Officer Jackson doesn't even realize that he admits that he knows Jeff is right, and appears to understand that he has no lawful authority to force Jeff to leave.
Yeah, I've attempted to do that, and he just set on his ways, and to an extent knows his rights and the law, which is good. I mean, it was one thing. I read the sign, because with the little information that I had, obviously I walk up and pretty reasonable to assume loitering. But then I start noticing the sign. You're not asking for money, nothing like that. I mean, just standing there. I can understand where it's reasonably seen as a suspicious or a nuisance in a sense, but he's not disturbing the peace. He's not panhandling. I can do an information report, but I mean, even then, I mean, I'm kind of limited. I'm gonna run it by another senior officer real fast, but I could be wrong. But just from what I gathered with him, that might be where we just lead to, is just kind of limited.
Shortly after, Field Training Officer Kelly Morris arrives on scene.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, y'all. God bless Thomas Beck.
So has the other officer made contact with you yet, or is he inside?
Yes, he's inside talking.
Okay, has he talked to you yet?
He has. He said he's going to go in there and discuss with them.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, because you're on a government property, you won't be able to solicit. You'd have to go over somewhere on a sidewalk. You wouldn't be able to do it on the property.
What's your name?
Officer Morris.
Officer Morris?
Morris, yes.
Okay, my name is Jeff.
Morris.
Like I explained to the other officer, what's his name?
That's Jackson.
Jackson, Officer Jackson, Officer Morris. I'm engaged in Constitution-protected activity on a traditional public forum. And if you guys trespass me or make me leave, you'll be held liable.
Well, so I don't know if you're begging for money, because you're putting on there that you're homeless. So, and that's usually what the homeless people do. You still can't beg on public. That's not the point. If you're soliciting out here to get money because you're homeless, then you would have to go to the sidewalk and do that.
I am soliciting this free speech.
No. Soliciting is different. When you're out here begging for money, yes, it is. It's something different.
Are you disagreeing with the courts about that? I'm not sure.
What I'm telling you is, I know you want an argument. That's what you're here. Your goal is. Listen to what I'm saying. You cannot be on government property, and this is state government, begging for money. You can go to a sidewalk because a judge, granted, you can stand on a sidewalk and beg because that is public property, and you can do that there.
I disagree with you, and you're incorrect.
Well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to talk to her for a minute, so be quiet for a second, please.
I'm talking to the mayor's chief security. He said with him standing here, he have to go down on the sidewalk.
That's what I'm explaining. You're blocking the entrance, standing here begging. Go to the sidewalk. So all you gotta do is go to the sidewalk. And I don't know why. That's what they're saying. The mayor's saying this.
The area in which Jeff has been standing is atop a stairwell that is blocked by a concrete podium and large sign.
Go to the sidewalk.
Right here in front of this sign. That's already
you can either go to the sidewalk, sir, if you're out here soliciting for money, or we're going to take you for loitering for the purpose of begging. Yes, because you're loitering on this property. I'm telling you now. Don't point your finger at me. Don't do that. You're not in charge of me or anything out here. That's fine, sir. That's fine. Call your lawyer right now. That's fine. I'm telling you right now, if they want you off the property, you have to leave.
This is the steps of City Hall, and I'm staying here. Unless you arrest me.
That's what we're probably going to end up doing it if you don't want to listen. They're saying you can go and stand on the sidewalk right here on the front, but you're not listening. You don't want to do that. And you will still serve your purpose on the front of the sidewalk, standing with your homeless sign.
It's free speech.
No, not on government property. You don't, sir. You can't stand here and beg for money and solicit people that walk up for money. You don't. Do you have a permit to do that, to run that business, to solicit for money here? Okay, thank you. I didn't think you did. So here's the thing. It's one thing to stand here and just talk, freedom of speech, but it's another when you're holding a sign saying you're a homeless vet. Do you even have a VA card to prove you're a veteran, sir?
Did I say I was a veteran?
Are you falsifying that information?
Did I say I was a veteran?
I'm asking you because it says God bless the homeless vets, but I'm asking you, are a veteran? Are you a veteran? What branch? Okay, I was too. What was your MOS? Okay, because you probably weren't. I seriously doubt you were.
Am I required to be a veteran in order to support the veterans and wish them goodwill and ask for prayer for the veterans?
That's not what you said earlier you were doing.
Ma'am, you're off on the wrong foot. You got your ego. Your ego is getting you in trouble right now. You understand me?
Asking for money.
Your ego is putting you in.
Keep pointing your finger at me, sir, and I'm going to take it as a threat.
You're taking my finger pointing at you as a threat?
Negative. You keep pointing at me.
But you don't tell me what to do.
Turn around. Nobody's talking to you right now. Turn around.
You don't tell me what to do. You're ridiculous.
Nobody's talking to you.
Officer Jackson was a nice guy, but you're a punk.
After needlessly escalating a civil encounter between Officer Jackson and Mr. Gray, Officer Morris now makes a phone call, but the records department muted the name of who she requested advice from.
So when I first made contact with
Hey, so I just want you to know we have a white male that's standing here at the City Hall holding a sign.
Freedom of speech.
He's refusing to leave. He says as sovereign citizen, it's his right, freedom of speech, to stand here.
God bless freedom of religion.
Initially, he said he was soliciting money.
God bless freedom of assembly on public property.
Now he's not soliciting money. He's just here to grant goodwill to the homeless veterans.
God bless our homeless veterans.
But he's refusing to leave, so.
Please pray for our homeless veterans. I'm about to be arrested because I'm engaged in freedom of speech on this traditional public forum.
He's just standing out here, he's not being really loud or anything, but the assistant chief mayors or whatever they call them, they want him off the property.
I'm about to be arrested up here because I'm engaged in free speech on a traditional public forum. Because the female officer is being driven by her ego not the law.
Because he's standing right in front of the stairs where people are walking up.
The female officer is being driven by her ego. Ego enforcement officer, not a law enforcement officer.
No, he won't get on the sidewalk. He's on city property. They told him he could stand on the sidewalk and talk all he wants, but he's refusing to do so. And I even told him that he can stand on the sidewalk and hold his sign, but he's saying it's his freedom of speech to stand here and stop people and hold his sign. And he said something about being a sovereign citizen or something.
I'm soliciting goodwill and prayers for the homeless veterans.
And he also let me know he was going to sue me. So, I mean, it's already attempt to influence anyway. So, also. Okay. Well, I'm going to go in there and talk to them real quick, and I'll be back out. So, initially...
Real fast. I got to get this off my phone. I didn't mean to blow up your phone. I called you twice, but obviously you see why. So anyway, and this is just knowledge I'm wanting, with him saying he's peacefully assembling, doing that on City Hall, he's going to have to get a...
Well, you have to get a permit if it's 11 people or more to assemble.
Oh, 11 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and here's the thing is if they want him, he's now saying it's freedom of speech. When I initially started, I was like, I'll just talk to you. And he's like, yeah. And I said, what are you doing out here begging for money? I was like, you got a sign. And he was like, it's my right to stand here. And I was like, I said, you can't solicit here. I said, you can stand on the sidewalk and do that. The judge said that, but you can't stand here. Did you guys already tell him to leave?
Yes.
Okay, my sergeant's on the way because he was told to leave and he's refusing to do so. We're probably going to end up taking him in jail for criminal trespass. And he also let me know he was going to sue me for my job. We're going to get him for attempt to influence as well. So, because he wants to, I love these folks that want to make a big deal about, I know my right. And he's like, I said, are you a veteran? He's like, yes. So what branch? He said, Army. I said, what's your MO? None of your business. So he probably doesn't even know what that is. And he probably doesn't even have a card, but his sign says, God bless the homeless veterans. So.
I mean, we don't have a problem if he just stepped down on the sidewalk.
We've tried.
But he's up, you know.
You're being stubborn.
He's saying it's his freedom of speech to do that. He didn't like me, so.
That's what he's out there using this crazy.
So.
Yeah, I'm going to give her the information report as now as it labeled, just in case it turns into what we reasonably assume it's going to.
Well, yeah, Sarge said that if they asked him to leave and he's refusing and he's like, I'm exercising my rights. And when you guys made contact, was he stopping people?
He was asking the people that work here for money.
So he was begging for money?
Yes.
Okay, do we have anybody's name that we can get as a contact to say that they were stopped? Can we have somebody come up here? So that's just going to verify even more that he was out here begging.
Yeah, he solicited Amanda Jones, and she just got walking.
Yeah, if you can just call her, we can get her information and for that, so. Because what a judge said, you can stand on a corner and beg. You just can't walk into traffic and impede the flow of traffic. And also, you can't be on private property asking for money. Yes, this is government property, but also they can ask you to leave. I told him just go to the sidewalk if you're asking for money. Now he's changing it that he's here for freedom of speech. So he just, he's wanting to justify himself.
Again, there's a decent chance he'll get arrested if he keeps up his demeanor. But just for y'all's purpose,
Yes.
I'm just going to have it written up as an information report. That way, once we go out there, we ain't got to bother y'all anymore. So.
What did the guy just say to you?
So when that lady comes down that he was asking for money, that's when we're going to get her on the report as well.
Yeah.
Did he ask you for money? No. I'm Officer Jackson, by the way. We're just trying to settle some stuff.
I do the FOIA request.
Yeah, he doesn't like me. That's okay.
He talked to Miss Amanda, and she said she thought he did, but he just said, God bless you.
Okay.
So if he didn't ask her for money, that's good. I mean, if he said what he said to her.
I mean, he's still got to get off the property. I mean, he's clearly panhandling. I read the sign, because with the little information that I had, obviously I walk up and pretty reasonable to assume loitering. But then I start noticing the sign. You're not asking for money, nothing like that. I mean, I'm just standing there. it just better helps our case due to what he's saying and all this stuff, and wanting to go round and around and be an argument of. Regardless, though, the outcome will be what it needs to be on our end. So.
And I'm not concerned with him recording, sir. I've got my recorder on, and I'm not concerned with it that you're a sovereign citizen. It doesn't matter to me. If they want you to leave, that is the where we're at right now. You got to leave.
The only thing we asked him was to step down on the sidewalk. And that's all we asked.
But the thing is, you can go exercise your freedom of speech right there on the sidewalk, and it serves the same thing. But since he said he's assembling here to, what were the terms? Peacefully
exercise his rights.
That's what he said. So
exercise his freedom of speech and display his freedom of religion. Which, like I told him before you got here, I was like, I'm fine with all that. But so the issue is due to the sign being held up, and just from my experience, you can't be panhandling right here in front of the city hall. And I was like, man, just step on the sidewalk. And I was like, well, I'm sure she heard a little bit of it. I was like, why are you being difficult, man? And he was like, well, I'm not. I just know the law and all this. And that's when he threatened me. He was like, you might want to contact the city attorney and the mayor and the chief before you put me in cuffs. And I was like,
have you guys spoke to the mayor today?
I spoke to his chief of security, and he told me to. That's what I told him.
So it was just that one person thought he was begging for money, but nobody else has said that?
Okay. Nobody's ever actually said he was begging for money.
Well, he initially claimed that, and that he was exercising the right to do that, and then.
Yeah, he told me that.
yeah, as far as my end goes, he just stuck to.
So he told you that too? He was here to get money?
He said he was. Why would I impede him on asking for help?
Hey, it's LaPorte. What's going on, man?
As far as y'all's end goes, I'm concerned.
Oh, nothing. We have a guy out here in front of City Hall. I've already called our sergeant. He's refusing to leave. And they've already told him to leave. And initially he did tell the security here that he was here to ask for money. He's holding a sign saying, God bless the homeless vets, on a piece of cardboard that he handwritten. So he's not with any organization or anything. He's here saying he's exercising his freedom of speech. And then he changed it to, because initially I said, well, if you're soliciting, I said, you got to go to the sidewalk. I said, he's like, I know the law. And I was like, yeah, the judge says if you're going to beg for money, you can't do it on government property or, private property. And so then he changed it to he's just here exercising his rights, freedom of speech. But he's stopping people as they're coming into the building to say, God bless the vets. And then I asked him, I said, are you a veteran? He's like, yeah. And I said, what branch? He said, Army. I said, what was your MLS? He's like, none of your business. I said, yeah, that's what I thought. He probably isn't. So I can get him for criminal impersonation trying to say he's a veteran. Oh, they've asked. We've told him, and he won't. So I'm waiting on Sergeant Oldham to get here, and Sergeant Oldham said if he's been told to go and he won't, then we're just going to arrest him. And he's also, let me know and Jackson know that he's going to sue us, preventing us from doing our job. So I'm just waiting on Sarge to get here.
Doesn't have anything better to do that.
That's crazy.
I will.
Here's where we're living. We ain't got nothing.
Bye-bye.
If he is actually a veteran, he knows he can get help.
The problem is when I asked him if he was a veteran, he wouldn't even tell me his MOS. He's like, none of your business. I was in the Army, so I was really curious to what. And then I was like, do you have any identification that you are a veteran? I doubt he does. So.
Officer Jackson now embellishes his version of events to make himself appear more aggressive and demeaning towards Jeff during their initial conversation.
Well, if it leads to it, which obviously we're trying to avoid it, but he's...
No, Oldham already said that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I asked him multiple times to give me his name, so obstruction as well. I don't know if you attempted to, but...
No, I didn't ask his name. I just asked if the other officer talked to him.
Yeah. I was like, man, what's your name?
He said, yeah.
I said, what's your last name and date of birth? He said, I'd rather not give it. You got a reason to get it? I said, well, I am conducting an investigation now, and due to you wanting me to contact the city mayor and all this stuff, this is an investigation I'm involved in now. So I said, you got to give me your thing. You'll catch obstruction. He was like, well, you're wanting me to contact all these people and all that stuff, so I am conducting an investigation. So therefore, I don't want you to catch a petty charge for obstruction.
Yeah, I don't want to either because I'm engaged in free speech. And
I got you. But now I'm here, though.
Yeah, I'm not giving my ID.
And well, then you're about to get put in handcuffs for obstruction until I further figure this out, man. I was like, you know what, let's just pause for a second. I don't feel like you're going anywhere, clearly, due to your stubbornness. I don't think you're going to go anywhere. Give me 1 second, okay? So I'm going to go up here and talk to them. So,
Yep, no, that's fine.
Pitiful.
We can stay outside to listen to them, so I'm good with that. So,
If they trespass me from this property, I will leave.
well, they said that they wanted you to go to the sidewalk and you refused because the guard said that you did tell him you were out here asking for money. That's soliciting.
I never said that to him.
That's what he's saying.
That's hearsay.
I don't know. They've got cameras that record and it's got audio too. So all I've got to do is ask them to pull it back.
See my camera right here? It's been recording the whole time. I never asked for money. I never asked for money.
I was not here when that conversation happened when you guys had contact. I'm just stating what he said.
The steps of City Hall are a traditional public forum.
But you said you were here to assemble and you don't have a permit to do that, do you?
Well, you have to get a permit if it's 11 people and want to assemble.
Of course I don't have a permit to do that. It's called the Constitution, First Amendment to the United States Constitution.
Okay. But my other thing was, are you falsely impersonating that you're a veteran? Are you falsely impersonating that you're a veteran? Because that's really offensive if you are and never served in the military.
What does that have to do with anything? I never claimed to be a hero or anything like that. Why do I have to prove to you that I'm a military veteran?
They do other stuff and they're really not, and it's an embarrassment to people who served, who don't deserve that.
You don't make any sense, man.
Okay, and you haven't either, sir. You can record me all day long. I'm recording you. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, though, I know you want to be difficult. You want to make an issue that you're going to stand here and argue and make your point, but you've contradicted yourself a couple times, but you're saying you didn't, but it's all recorded. When I initially asked you, were you out here asking for money? You said you were.
No, I never did say I was asking for money.
And then when I came inside, they said you were. You did say that.
You're wrong.
And then I asked you, and then I said to you,
you asked if I was asking for money, and I said it's not illegal to ask for money.
I said to you, you have to stand on the sidewalk if you're going to solicit. Then you said you're here exercising your constitutional rights. But you can't be on this property begging for money initially, and that's what I said. And then when he said you said that to him is why you were out here.
I never said I was asking for money.
He said you did.
You said I did too, but I wasn't. I never said that.
But I asked you that, and you said you did.
No, I didn't. You're wrong.
Yes, you were out here. And then I said, stand on the sidewalk, and you know I have the right to stand here. I said, you can't beg on public property. And then I tried to explain to you.
You said asking for, wow. Are you doing an investigation or are you just talking? Are you doing an investigation or are you just talking?
Public property or private property.
You're an ego enforcement officer and you're a disgrace.
Sir, you look a disgrace too. You should look at yourself.
You're a shame. You're a disgrace. You're calling me a disgrace? You're a disgusting person.
I appreciate that.
You're an ego enforcement officer. Try to enforce the law and listen to what I'm telling you and be quiet.
Nothing you say is going to affect me, sir. I'm not listening to anything. You keep getting loud and you will go in the back of a patrol car. Nobody's going to listen.
Try to enforce the law and uphold your oath to defend the Constitution instead of coming out here enforcing your ego. You're a disgusting disgrace. This is First Amendment protected activity at the steps of City Hall. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. It's a traditional public forum, and you can't ask me to leave. You don't have the lawful authority to ask me to leave.
They said they asked you to go to the sidewalk, and you refused.
They don't have the lawful authority to ask me to leave this public forum. This is a traditional public forum, and I'm engaged in freedom of speech.
If they asked you to leave, we have to come up here and see what's going on.
How many times have I got to tell you that? Leave me alone, go 10-8. Leave me alone and go 10-8 before you make a mistake.
Okay, will you be quiet? Quit making threats, sir, because you're being recorded making these threats. What mistake are you saying I'm making?
You're enforcing your ego. You're dismissed. Officer Jackson, please stay. You're dismissed. You're dismissed. You're incompetent. You're an incompetent disgrace, and you have no business being a law enforcement officer.
What mistake are you saying I'm making? Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me?
You're an incompetent disgrace, and you have no business being a law enforcement officer.
Are you threatening me, sir? I'm asking you.
Do you have any ID? Are you threatening me? Yeah, maybe I am. If you don't show me some proof of residency, I'm gonna have to take you in. You can take me, but you cannot take my bunghole. For I have no bunghole. He doesn't have any ID or anything. Says his name is Cornholio.
I am Cornholio. The hell kind of a name is that? Let the federales deal with him.
Are you threatening me? Because you already did attempt to influence that you're going to sue me. So what else?
What?
You attempted to influence me when you said I'll sue you. Is exactly what you said, and that's a charge.
What are you talking about?
When you said earlier, I will sue you if you make me leave this property, is exactly what you said. Trying to influence me not to arrest you. That's called attempt to influence, sir.
I'm trying to get you guys to leave me alone.
Then go away. That's the thing, go away.
You go away.
No, I'm not going away.
You're really disgusting.
No?
You're a shameful, disgusting person.
Sir, you should look at yourself. It's shame on you.
You ego enforcement officer, you.
Shame on you for trying to say you're in the military and you probably weren't.
You silly little ego enforcement officer, you big dummy.
Shame on you.
You big dummy.
I know, you keep saying whatever you need to say, sir.
You dumb.
Okay, we're in like kindergarten now.
You're probably his supervisor, aren't you? He's got more integrity than you do in his little finger.
Okay, well, you'll see when he gets here.
You're a disgusting disgrace.
He's a military veteran as well.
You dumb.
Are you almost 97?
You dummy.
I thought you were. You asked me and I said yes.
Shut up, dummy.
Now he's called me a dummy and being like we're like in kindergarten out there. And I said, sir, I'm not going to argue with you. And he's like, you're dismissed, get 10-8. And I was like, I'm not leaving. I was like, I'm not going to argue with you. And I said, besides, I said, you've already threatened me in my job by suing with attempt to influence. He goes, what? And I said, yeah, you said that. Now he's trying to say he didn't. But he said it to Jackson and me. I mean, everything's recorded. So that threw him off when I said that to him. He said, if they tell me to leave, I'll leave. But he said until then, but I doubt he's going to leave. So I'm going to have security tell him he's got to go. And if he's refusing, then because he claims he's out here on. Do what? Go out there so you hear that on camera. Go out there so you hear that on camera.
I'm asking you to leave.
You're asking me to leave. If I don't leave, what'll happen? Officer Jackson, what?
I'm asking you to leave.
He's asking me to leave. I'm being trespassed.
You're not being banned from the property. You're being told to get off the property due to what you're doing.
Due to what I'm doing, getting free speech. Okay, and if I don't leave the property, what's going to happen?
You'll get charged with criminal trespass.
Okay. I'm out of here.
He's leaving now. He's unhappy. But we're going to stand by here and make sure he doesn't come back.
That's probably your supervisor. But this is disgraceful. This is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of assembly on a traditional public forum. And I have every right to be here. People fight and die for the right to do this. And you guys are disgusting. Shame on you!
I still never got his information besides Jeff.
Did you let him know if he comes back he's going to do it? Let him know. Sergeant Holmes said let him know.
Yeah, I'm going to drive down there then.
When I said, well, you know, my sergeant's on the way, and I was like, he's a military veteran. I said, he probably won't appreciate this. And that pissed him off even more. And he's like, you're a disgrace. You don't know your job, you're a disgrace. And I was like, okay, sir. I was like, I'm not going to stand here and argue. I said, nobody's listening to you. And that pissed him off even more when I told him we're not listening to him. So, but I was ready to snatch him up, and I told Jackson to go get his tag number because he refused to give his name. So in reality, we probably should have snatched him up, but he's gone now, so.
Just be advised that
you do understand that you are not allowed back on the property. That's what they're wanting now. So, all right. Well, I do have to get your information.
For trespass?
Yes.
That's a civil thing, man.
No, it's not.
I've left the property. The crime only occurs if I refuse to leave or if I come back.
Exactly. Listen to me. You didn't commit a crime, but listen. You just said what I was about to say. If you come back, right? You just admitted that. How is an officer or the establishment going to be able to know who you are if they don't have no information?
The only way you can get ID is if there's a crime committed or you suspect me.
No, that's false. I'm now conducting an investigation.
I'm going to go on my way unless I'm being detained.
Yes, you are being detained. Okay, I'm done playing with you. Okay, you're making this up. You are, and you just spit on me.
I'm trying. I didn't mean to spit on you.
I got you. Well, act right.
Let me step away, man. Let me step away.
What's your last name?
If I don't give you my last name, I'll be arrested.
Yes. Huh?
So now you're detaining me to get my driver's license, which is an illegal detainment because you don't suspect me of committing a crime. I complied with the trespass. Goodness gracious. Am I free to go now?
I just told you why I'm getting your information. Yes, you're good to go.
Yeah, and if you can't get my information without being suspected of a crime, I don't have to give it to you.
Well, I tried explaining it to you, but you don't want to listen.
I know you did, but you're wrong, and I tried to explain it to you as well, so.
Well, you're fucking ignorant. Good Lord. He was just walking. I made contact with him when he was still on the sidewalk.
So here's the thing. Let me shut these off.
I speak to Jeff from time to time, and there just might be some more to this story. But considering this video's length, we'll have to leave that for another day. So be sure to stop by Jeff's channel and let him know I sent you after you comment below to leave your thoughts on these two officers, especially the rookie, who thinks that Jeff, one of the OGs of this community, is
fucking ignorant.
While at the same time, his top search result on his phone is case law vehicles passenger identification. How the fuck you graduate without knowing that is beyond me. But then again, this is Arkansas, and this is your field training officer. Very high standards. Until next time, check out another video linked on screen.